Let us today undertake a kind of overview on what we are attempting to do. What is this effort? Is to try to understand this effort. Are we searching for something, looking for something? Are we desiring something? Are we trying to find a means to an end? What is this effort? Like almost everything we undertake, it's a means to an end. We are trying to achieve something. But this work is rather different. It doesn't begin with the idea of achievement. It begins with the idea of understanding. And it begins by the recognition. Only when I recognize me rightly, I can truly recognize what is my next step. If not, I'm running with an assumption. If I do this, if I achieve this, I'll be fulfilled. Which most often take people astray. So the primary effort is rather simple, We are simply getting together, as one of my teachers would say, simply getting together, observing ourselves. We are looking at ourselves. Or a more sensible statement will be paying attention to what is here, trying to understand what is here. It is not a process of becoming, it's a process of understanding what is exactly here, what is going on. I'm not here to tell you what you should become. I'm not here to tell you what you should want, what you should have, or what kind of life you should live out. I don't think anybody can do that, and anybody who does that is callous. I think the beginning effort is to be able to observe what is here, to understand what is going on as me, and trying to go beyond all the information that is given to us who we are, but for ourselves to look at who we are and to understand what is here. And let me just spend some time in this understanding. If I don't understand what is here, then I'm moving blind. Then I'm living with an assumption, maybe if I make $1 billion, or maybe if I marry the most beautiful person in the world, or maybe if I go to an island, I would become happy. And for a fact, the very reason I'm not happy is simply because I'm unaware what is here. The difficulty of this path is when I observe me, I might not be according to my idea. Slowly, if you don't mind going into this today. We are working on the fundamentals, right? You see, as we are growing up, we are given assumptions, if I become an artist, or if I become a doctor, or if I become famous, or if I'm known by everybody, I would be. And by being, I would be happy. So the only movement is to look for a means to an end that I have already come to accept. If only if I'm more muscular, or maybe if I'm only, I don't know, whatever it can be. If I only become the kind of person that will make everybody like me. So we are a kind of an assumption movement. The whole society moves in that direction. And it's very comforting because we are going with the normal flow of life, become rich, become successful, get married, have children. And I'm not against that. But I'm saying it's an assumption. I've known friends, I've known people, students that have come to study with me, who pursued success at the pinnacle of success were depressed. And upon investigation, they just followed what was told to them to be, and they were not aware of who they are. In some sense, they were working against them. And finally, when they sit down and start becoming aware of who they are, they say, I just want to be a simple person. I want to live a normal life. I want to just go by. I'm actually not ambitious, greedy, none of that. and they became something other than what they are. So in order not to make that error, we are going to simply sit. The core effort is simply keeping an eye on ourselves, paying attention, not thinking, almost becoming self-aware. And the way to become self-aware is to be aware what is here, what is going on with me. How am I? What is here? In some sense, it is being bodied. You actually have a body. You're right here. If not, you're just a mind, a thought, a movement, a trajectory. Right? It's like almost if you photograph somebody in movement, we call something called motion blur. You see them, but it's a blur. So most of us are in a state of motion blur. And I'm not challenging what you already think is right for you. I hope you're right. I am not challenging your notion of this will complete me, that will make me happy. It's like this. Somebody once asked me, what is enlightenment, Master? I said, and that person was a very successful person. And I said, it's the same thing you have been doing your whole life, that you're seeking this wealth, this success, this fame, thinking it will complete you. I just happen to think it is not outside there, it's within me. So you and I are doing the same thing, but we are looking in a different direction. You too are looking for enlightenment because you're looking for fulfillment. Unless you are broken, then all you want to do is survive. I know, you forgive Master today. This might not be what you're interested to listen, because the brain is tuned to listen to something to actualize what it has already assumed. To watch myself, to look at myself, to understand what is here. It's almost to know oneself, which means I must begin with I don't know. Then life is an opportunity to get to know what is here and why this is important. Only when I know what is here, I can navigate me rightly in this world. I will not act against me. I will act with me, for me. Together, slowly, sir. It is wonderful if somebody goes out and look for millions and millions of dollars and becomes successful. And if that helps him to actualize him, bravo. Like it's almost as reading Steve Jobs' little history before he died. No? Almost everything he did was meaningless for him. So I don't know whether he lived a life in faithfulness to him or he did something against him. It's hard to. But now you may ask, how do I know me, Master? Is it just watching? No. It's watching while living. You see, in order this, again I asked for your forgiveness in this sense, because this can really rub you wrongly. It's not my intention. Many of you might already think, I know me, I know what I want, this is exactly. So can you appreciate my misjudgment of me? Misjudgment of me. You see, now even you go to the hospital, they ask you, do you have any allergy? Do you have this? Do you have that? They ask you. They need to know because they can give you a medication that thing can help you but can kill you. Right? So they got to know your history. And it is far more greater crime when somebody thinks they know you, And when they enforce their idea on you. It's almost like everybody knows everybody. And they kind of know what is good for you too. It's like almost anybody that loves you wants to correct you. They don't want to sit down and actually understand you first. So we are confronted by a couple of facts. The first fact is, I'm already on the move, convinced what is going to fulfill me. I'm already on that move. I've already invested my life into it. And I'm banking if I do that, I would be incredibly happy and which is one's personal enlightenment. Have you seen somebody winning an award or an Olympic gold medal. He's almost like in an enlightenment moment, like something actualized. I'm not denying that somehow deep down we are seeking for that completion. Unless you are broken, then all you want to do is survive. But I think the only way you can truly detect and know for yourself is only by deep observation of you for prolonged periods of time. The misunderstanding of me can be incredibly fatal, sir. And then one can spend one entire life in something and it might not fulfill them. And worse still, if that pursuit fail, then everything is at loss. But if it's your life, if it's yours to do, whether success or failure, it cannot be that damaging. You at least got to be you. So maybe we are detecting the basic error. Could it be the basic error is, I'm already sold what my enlightenment is. I'm already sold what will fulfill me. I'm already sold what will satisfy me. Like many people say they know themselves. I said, do you, sir? I said, I'm still trying to get to know. I've known quite a bit, but I know there's so much more. I'm still exploring, I'm still discovering, I'm still meditating. I'm sitting, I'm using every opportunity to discover what is going on here. What's happening? Can we begin today, sir? Can I ask you to maybe suspend your trajectory and begin by simply observing oneself, just paying attention to me. And something incredible happens when you observe you. You will sooner or later connect to the part of you that wants to express itself, wants to actualize itself. Then this life, no matter what the outcome may be, has a meaning because you have used this life to participate with you. You have used this life to actualize you. And no matter what the outcome outwardly may be, but I'm seated with me.